Hello there guys, and welcome to another Forza Horizon 5 video on my channel. So we are currently in the winter dry season of Series 31 European Automotive in Forza Horizon 5 Mexico. So I am back to guide hopefully you all to success with another full festival playlist walkthrough, unlike last week where of course we tried to whiz through the challenges as quick as possible due to my late upload, which was all explained in that video if you are wondering. So I am back with the usual seasonal advice containing all you need to know before you're tackling this week's challenges, and I will, as usual, include all of my tips and tricks for each and every individual event, as well as my suggested cars and tunes to hopefully help you on your way to completion, and we'll be visiting my garage after each challenge to check out those. And also we've got the additional feature of some gameplay, and namely for the PR Stunts, so I hope that you look forward to that in the video. So before we jump into the playlist and its events, we'll just quickly address how we'll approach this walkthrough. So as usual with a Shylo gaming walkthrough, we do it in chronological order, so we'll be working through in sections, starting off with the Forzathon events, then in season events, then into challenges, then into monthly events, and then finally into the expansion events. So we'll be covering all the challenges, make sure we don't miss any of them out, and as I said, all of my tips and tricks and tunes for each of them and any other general advice will be given as we work through them all the way till the end. I'd also like you to thank you for joining the Shylo Gaming virtual community, and if you do like what you see, do not hesitate to like and subscribe. It definitely helps me out. It shows that people enjoy my content, and of course leaving a comment with feedback, constructive feedback, other general positive comments, they are always welcome. And of course, if you've got any questions, that's what the comments are for as well, or alternatively you can contact me on Xbox via my gamer tag in the top left, or on Discord, which is the same gamer tag but with a lowercase s for Shylo. So without any further ado, we shall begin, and we will be taking a look at the rewards for the winter season and the whole of the series. Starting off then with this week's seasonal rewards for the winter dry season, we have of course the 20 points and the 40 points rewards out of a total of 75 points for the whole season. So these rewards, they're usually new exclusives, or they are returning exclusives from previous updates, other highly sought after cars in some shape or fashion. So this week's 20 point reward is the Mercedes AMG SL63 from 2021. It is a convertible, and the convertible does work, unlike some of the cars in the game, which is very nice and be a nice cruising car. So that is brand new to Forza, brand new with the European Automotive update. And then for 40 points, we have returning the Forza Edition Mini 65, or 1965. So the Mr. Bean Mini, gone electric with a wide body and a carbon roof. It's a bit odd, it's absolutely shocking, however, it is there, and it is a hard to find Forza Edition car. Moving over to the series rewards, these can be unlocked by obtaining a load of points across the whole series, in other words all 4 seasons, and you'll of course need a certain amount of points out of the total for each week, which is 75 points for each week to work towards these, so this is out of a total of 300. So for example, if you get 20 points every week in each season, you'll get your 80 point reward, and if you get 40 every week, you'll get the 160 point reward, or you might get more in some seasons than in others, it depends how you work. So the 80 point reward for the European Automotive is the Ferrari 575M, 575 Maranello. So I believe that is an exclusive that appeared in Series 2, I think. Or it might even, I think it was Series 2. So it was in Horizon 4, then they didn't include it, and then a month later after the game launched, they decided to bring it back again. And then for 160 points, first featuring, I believe, in the High Performance update, which was about Series 20, I think, is the 2021 Audi RS6 Avant. Absolutely fantastic car, and again, exclusive car, not in the auto show. Really good one to get your hands on if you are able to across the series. Moving back over to our winter dry season, we can begin our chronological section by section work through of the playlist by first taking a look at the Forzathon section, which of course covers the weekly Forzathon challenge, 7 times daily challenges releasing across the week, and Horizon Forzathon shop to spend your well-earned points. So to start then, we have our weekly Forzathon challenge, which is this week called Blue and Gold. It will get you 5 seasonal points from completion. It'll also get you some Forzathon points, so that will be 80 Forzathon points as standard. However, that will double to 160, as you can see on my icon here in the bottom right, if you own the La Casa Solariga Player House, which comes free with a VIP pass. And it also grants you double Forzathon points in every Forzathon related event, including Horizon Arcade, which will of course come to the start of the following section. So I highly recommend that you do purchase this house. So, moving to the chapters, the first one, which is called Never Enough, wants you to own and drive the 1993 Renault Clio Williams. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is an auto show car, so it should be available to everybody by purchasing it in the auto show. I think it's actually something like 20,000 credits, so it's very, very cheap. However, you may be able to find it in the auction as well if for whatever reason it isn't in the auto show, but I'm relatively confident that it is. You may also wish to put a tune on it. If you do, I've got one shared. It's at the top of A-Class. It's kind of an off-road build. It's got off-road race tyres on it. I can't remember creating it, but I think it's just kind of a chill kind of rally build. It could also work on road as well, especially in the winter season with all the snow, especially in the mountain, I suppose. However, you may want to hang fire with that because for Chapter 3, you will need to spend some credits, so you may want to save that for Chapter 3. But Chapter 2, Small Package, Big Power, wants you to earn 2 stars at Trailblazers. Very simple, just filter your map to Trailblazers. Pick any. Obviously, trying to pick one with an easy objective would be advisable. So obviously, try and make sure that the 2-star or 3-star objective is relatively low and in comparison to the tune that you've got on your car, especially if you're using it stock, which you might be for this challenge for Chapter 2. And you just need to get 2 stars. If you don't get 2 stars first time, you only get 1 star, that's fine. You can just do it again or do another Trailblazer because you don't necessarily have to get 2 stars in one go. Chapter 3, Collector's Edition, as previously alluded to, wants you to spend 20,000 credits on upgrades. So if you manage to complete the Trailblazer in the stock car, you can now, for example, download my tune and it'll be well more than 20,000 credits. And that will complete that, or you can just upgrade it yourself. And then finally, Chapter 4, Buzzing, wants you to earn a total of 3 stars at Speed Traps. So again, this is a total, you don't have to get 3 stars at once. However, if you somehow manage to, fair enough. You might want to pick an off-road speed trap to work to the tune's advantage, especially if you're using my tune. And once you've got a total of 3 stars at speed traps, you'll have completed the Forzathon Weekly Challenge Blue and Gold. Next up in the primary section of the festival playlist is the Forzathon Daily Challenges. As I previously said, there are 7 of these and they're released once each day across the week and they each last for 7 days each. So 6 of them will overlap into the spring season, so you may wish to complete them in batches if you get what I mean. So instead of kind of completing them every day, you don't necessarily need to do that, unlike in Horizon 4 when they only had a day to complete them. You could kind of wait for a few of them to unlock and then complete them like that. So I'm not going to spend too much time on these because they're generally fairly self-explanatory. Like the first one, spend 10,000 credits on upgrades on any Porsche. I think that's fairly simple to work out. However, there's definitely cases where they can prove a little tricky. Perhaps something's unclear, perhaps they may even be bugged. And should that be the case with any of them, let me know in the comments. Drop me a message on Xbox or Discord. As I said at the start of the video, I'll be more than happy to offer any assistance should you need it, be it tunes or anything else like that. And to conclude our first section, we can now cast our attention to the Forzathon shop, where we've got a few things to splash our Forzathon points on. As always, there's 2 cars, we've got 2 clothing items, we've got a horn and the usual wheel spin and super wheel spin. To be honest with you, not great this week. However, the Ferrari Enzo is the hot deal, as it's supposedly called. Auto show car, as far as I'm aware, a couple of million credits, so it's up to you whether you want to spend your points. Again, the Senna is about 1 million in the auto show, so not great to be fair this week. However, if, for example, you want some race gloves, by all means, spend your points on those. Following on from our first section, Forzathon events, we have the season events section. So this week it covers Horizon Arcade, the trial, three times EventLabs, 3 times seasonal championships. What am I on about? 3 times seasonal PR Stunts and 2 times seasonal championships. Slightly preempting myself there. So we'll start with the Horizon Arcade. Okay, so starting with the Horizon Arcade minigames, all you need to do is complete any Horizon Arcade theme. Doing so will get you 3 points, and as I mentioned in the Forzathon section, it'll also get you some Forzathon points. So completing all 3 rounds, which you need to do, will get you 30 or 60 Forzathon points, depending on whether you own that house. So all you actually need to do is head over to one of these pink circles. There's always 2 of them on the map at any given time, and one of them is always drift, as you can see here, and then the other one, wherever it is on the map, somewhere, where would it be? It is down here. Look, this one is wreckage. There's also air, I believe there's speed, and I think there's one other. So all you need to do is enter one of them. As you can see, they've just started, I think. You just need to enter one of them. There's a speed one, and you get like 12 minutes to get to it, and then you just need to complete 3 rounds. And the objective for each round varies on how many people are in the event. So if there's only you, you'll have far less to do than if there's like 3 or 4 of you. You just got 10 minutes to complete it. Obviously bring an appropriate car. There's no restriction as to what car you bring, and hopefully complete that and you'll get yourself the 3 points and some Forzathon points. Next up then, we have the trial. So for those of you who don't know, the way the trial works revolves around a team system. So you're part of a team of up to 6 players, usually randoms unless you're part of a convoy. And if you do choose to run with a convoy, make sure it is a maximum of 6 players, because you can't enter with any more than 6 for this event, unlike the usual convoy maximum of 12. Your team then has the aim of trying to defeat the opposing team of 6 drivatars who are set to unbeatable difficulty. Sometimes they are genuinely unbeatable because they literally blatantly cheat. However, sometimes it's easier than others. So in order to do this, you need to rack up points, which you do by overtaking the drivatars' vehicles. However, they also get points for overtaking you and your teammates, so it requires a team effort to win, and hence try not to ram your teammates, as you're actually not racing them, you're racing the drivatars in the set of races, and thus it takes a team effort to beat the drivatars. So this week's event is called Sea to Mountain. It will get you a huge 10 points towards your seasonal reward cards, plus the additional event completion reward this week of the Abarth 595 SSE from 1968. That car will feature later on, so do keep your eyes open for that. So the restriction this week is B-Class European Retro Saloon, so make sure it is European. I've tried my best when I've selected the cars to make sure they are European. I may have slipped up on maybe 1 or 2 occasions, but I have tried my best. And this week it's based on street racing. So let's head over to my garage. We'll go into my favourite section where I've prepared for you some cars and tunes to hopefully help you on your way to completion. Righto then, so I've got 5 suggestions for you in my virtual garage for this one, ranging all the way from A to V. So first of all, we have the Alfa Romeo 155 Q4. This was actually made for my FH5 2 years of video, along with the next one that we're going to be looking at, the Audi Avant RS2 over here. They were both made for the FH5 2 years video. Cheeky little plug for that there. A lot of time and effort did go into that one, so if you want to check it out, it was released in late November, I believe, or early December, a little bit after the 2-year anniversary of FH5. So both of those tunes are technically off-road tunes, however, they should also be alright on street racing. Then we've got the 2005 BMW M3 rear-wheel drive, kind of my take on a purist build for that one. Then moving over here, we have the Mercedes-Benz 190e from 1990. That tune comes from Dobre. The design also comes from Dobre, and Dobre is one of my channel moderators, absolute legend. He does the chapters for me every week, and he's amazingly talented, so if you'd like to check it out, they are both from him, and his gamer tag is Andrew9565. I'll try and remember to leave that in the description as well. And then finally, we have the Volvo 850R, another of my tunes. Front-wheel drive, rally tyres with a lovely IKEA livery, and that one is quite a fun car to drive. Next up on the agenda is a selection of community Event Lab events that the developers have selected to feature in this week's playlist. So as I said at the start of this section, we have 3 of them to work through this week. So let's get cracking. Hope they're a good selection. To be fair, they have been quite decent recently, although there's been a couple of duffers. So the first one this week comes from Pato Bin Shidi, or Pato Bin Sidi. Sorry, I've butchered the pronunciation of your gamer tag. And it is the Nalipo track Night. It will get you 3 points towards the playlist, and a 1993 Renault Clio, which is coincidentally the same Clio that you need for the Forzathon Weekly Challenge. I hadn't spotted that one when I was preparing for the video. Sneaky little feature there. So the restriction for this one is S1 class European modern supercars. Don't forget the European part on that to classify it. Okay then, so I've actually got 6 suggestions for you for this first event lab, starting with the 2016 Audi R8 V10 Plus. Do be warned, it has got a bit of understeer, but it's got plenty of punch in the straights thanks to that racing V12, which by the way sounds absolutely vile in my opinion, but I've put it in anyway. Then we have the 2009 Ferrari 458 Italia, which I believe I made for a Forzathon challenge the other week. Purist kind of, well, rear-wheel drive build for that one. If you've got the car pass, we've got the 2017 Ferrari J50 all-wheel drive rally tyres. And we've got 2 Huracans, the regular Huracan LP610-4, which I tested actually, and it isn't too bad. I thought it was a bit of a boat, but it's actually alright on rally tyres with the wide body there. Excuse the Forza aero. Then we've also got the Lamborghini Huracan Evo, if you've got car pass again. And finally finishing off over here with the 2010 Noble M600, probably my favourite out of the bunch. Absolute monster. It is rear wheel drive. It doesn't seem like it's got a lot of power, but it's really light and it's incredibly grippy in the corners, and I really enjoy driving that one. Next up on the Event Lab agenda is FBMR GP8 Ram Jam from Dani Flaschnift. Funky name. And that will get you 3 points towards the playlist, and a Lancia Stratos. Helpful now, but you actually needed it for last week's Forzathon. Anyway, the restriction for the second event lab is A-class European super saloons. So let's head back over to my garage. Okay then, so once again, a rather popular car category and class filter in my garage for tuned cars. I think I've got 6 or 7 for this one, starting with the 2013 Audi RS4 Avant. I've also got the 2018 Audi RS4 Avant, however that one is a festival playlist exclusive, so if you didn't unlock it when it was available in the German Automotive series, you've got the regular, or should I say the older RS4, which is in the auto show. Then we've got the 2020 Audi RS3 sedan, car pass car, so again you need the car pass for that one. However, another auto show car, the 2018 BMW M5, it was actually made for an off-road PR stunt at the very start of the game. However, having tested it recently on the road, it's more than capable and actually surprisingly good. Following the BMW theme, we've got the 2016 BMW M2 Coupe, again an off-road build but capable on the road. Then we've got 2 slightly purist builds for the 2021 M3 and the 2021 M4, both rear-wheel drive with rally tyres. And then finally over here we've got the Mercedes AMG C63 Coupe. These are actually for the PR stunts, however if you want to use them for this event lab, then you're more than welcome to do so. Finally then, for Series 31 Winter's Event Labs, we have Link City Full Throttle from GT Denny or Deny, and this one will get you 3 points and a super wheel spin, and the restriction is S1 class European hypercars. For this final event lab, I have just got 2 suggestions, both of them being from Lamborghini. We've got the 2016 Aventador SV, which is running a hell of a lot of power, and the Forza Aero, sorry about that, but it has to be done to make it drivable. And also running the Forza Aero is the 2016 Lamborghini Centenario, and that is a really, really good car. Stock horsepower, however, it's more than enough, but this thing can absolutely send it through the corners, and the brakes are beyond insane. And that helped me to achieve one of the challenges in my FH5 2 years video as well. So, and also shout out to Dobre again for the fantastic 10-year anniversary livery on that one. Following on from our event labs, we now have some seasonal PR stunts to work through. I would say perhaps my viewers tend to enjoy this section because I always show some gameplay, as I mentioned, that can often include failed attempts as well, although we haven't had too many failed attempts recently. Of course, I always show the completed version as well, however, if I do fail, you do get to see it as part of the video usually. But don't worry, it's usually just me being a bit silly, so don't get a flap on that they're really difficult, it's just me. So, let's get straight into what's required for these stunts. So there's 3 of them this week, as I mentioned earlier, and they'll each get you 2 points towards the playlist and a super wheel spin. So the events this week, we've got the Sandelas Minas speed trap, Caballo Blanco speed trap, and Los Campos drift zone. So, as per the standard, we'll quickly check out the restriction. I'll give you my cars from the garage, and then I shall attempt them myself and include some short clips for you to see how I approach these stunts. So, the restriction this week is A-Class Mercedes AMG. Make sure you don't pick a Mercedes Benz, because that will not count. It has to be Mercedes AMG. So, you've probably seen it earlier. I'm still driving it now. The car I'm using is a 2016 Mercedes AMG C63S Coupe. It's in the auto show. The reason I didn't choose the E63 or the GT4, I think they're both in the auto show, but they're quite a lot more expensive. So I've made 2 tunes for the C63S. One of them's for the speed traps and one of them's for the drift zone. So obviously, you can use the same tune for all of them if you want to, but I've just tried to make them different, and for those of you that want a specialised tune for each of the stunts. So, I'll hop in my C63 now, I'll go and do the PR stunts, and I shall see you on the other side. Okay then, so moving away from the department of seasonal PR stunts and my exclusive Shylo Gaming featured gameplay there of me completing them, we now have ourselves some seasonal championships to work through, and one of them in particular is going to be quite important, which we'll come to in just a second. So, a little bit about the championships. These can be completed either in solo or in co-op, although if you are completing them with a convoy, avoid the PvP option, instead choosing the co-op option, because PvP means that only one of you will receive the award, which of course you don't want. So playing solo will mean that you'll spawn back into free roam after each event. Can sometimes be a bit confusing, you think you've been kicked out, but what you actually have to do is drive or fast travel to each of the other events, which will be marked on your map at the start of the championship in reverse colours. You can see it's kind of white on red here, it'll be red on white, so it's kind of the other way around, so you can tell which ones are in your current championship. And you can filter to seasonal events on your map to help you locate these if you're having some difficulty, because sometimes they can get lost in all the stuff on the map. As for the co-op version, that'll work the same way as the trial, and it'll fast travel you to each of the events, and it'll just be a best of 3 once again. So, let's get straight into this week's championships then. So the first one is an exclusive event called Lotus Leaf, and the reason why I say that one of them is an important one is because this actually gets you an exclusive car. So as per last week, where we got the exclusive DS23 from the Cult Legends Championship, in the winter season we can get the Lotus Esprit V8 from the Lotus Leaf Seasonal Championship, which is based on street racing. It'll also get you 5 points, and as per the name, it is A-Class Lotus. Obviously Lotus is a British brand which comes under the European umbrella. So A-class Lotuses are a restriction, so I do recommend you do get this, because it will be quite a rare car. Quite a lot of people will probably miss this car because they probably only get the 20-point reward and then don't realise that it's actually here, and you need it for the photo challenge later on as well, which we'll come to. So very important that you do get this car if you want to add it to your collection. Okay, so toning it down for a bit from some of the other restrictions where I seem to have had loads of cars, I've just got two Lotuses for this one, or maybe we should say Loti. Could that be the plural? Two Loti. So we've got the 2012 Exige S. So that's an all-wheel drive build if you want something a bit more balanced, a bit more controllable, running rally tyres and some ugly Forza Aero there. And then also, if you want a bit more of a purist build, we've got the 1999 Elise Sport 190, which is running rear-wheel drive rally tyres. Same torque as power, in Newton meters at least, don't know what it would be like in foot-pounds. Very, very light. And it's quite a fun car to drive, this one. Sharp on the brakes, decent handling, decent power along the straights. So nice semi-purist build for you there. The next seasonal championship of the winter season, and indeed to wrap up the season event section, is Sand Speeders, based on road racing this time instead of street racing. This time it'll get you 5 points towards the playlist and a Lamborghini Huracan. I believe that's just the standard one. And the restriction for this one is S1 class hypercars. So you may have realised that earlier we had European hypercars over here for the GT Deny event lab, but for this one it's all of the hypercars, so it can be ones outside of Europe as well. As for my suggestions, it is just the same two hypercars from the event lab earlier on, the Lamborghini Duet here, the Aventador and the Centenario. I will have to apologise for the following couple of minutes with the treasure hunt, as the files for this have corrupted, so I have managed to record a couple of bits to put in replacement, but you will notice that some of the stuff that I'm talking about won't actually appear on screen, and unfortunately the bit where I actually smashed through the treasure chest was also corrupted, so I've had to try and do my best with this section, but hopefully you can listen to my explanations and figure it out for yourself. Righto then, so that wraps up our second section, season events, which means we can now move over to the third section, challenges, which this week yields a treasure hunt, a photo challenge and a Horizon Open challenge for us to tackle. So obviously these latter sections are a bit shorter than the first two, so obviously we're not going to spend as much time on them as the previous two, so hopefully we'll get this wrapped up in another 5 to 10 minutes. But before we do, let's head straight into the challenges section and into the treasure hunt, which is the bare essentials. And the treasure clue for this one this week is as follows. With a scorpion badge, it's also bold. Jump for 1 star to win some gold. And once you have smashed through the treasure chest, you'll get yourself 3 points towards the playlist and also 100,000 credits as an additional reward. So the way I work for this one is essentially I work through the clue, so I in the moment will decipher what that actually means. I'll then go and complete it myself, whilst perhaps you're doing it yourself as well, and then I will show you the exact location of the chest if you're having issues finding it. So obviously I do have to say as a disclaimer that if you don't want to see the actual location of the chest and you prefer to find it yourself, then do be warned that you will either have to pause the video, go ahead and find it yourself, or skip to the next event of the video, obviously being the photo challenge, so that it isn't spoilt for you if you want to do it later on. So I'll just say that before we get into it. Obviously I'll show you it on the map and then I'll show you it as well, and we'll be returning back to the festival playlist as well, because once you've completed a treasure clue, it'll say treasure clue completed, and this icon here, we're currently showing the Abarth 595, will change, and it will change to a clue of where the chest is, so it'll be a different picture, and that obviously gives you a clue as to where it is. And it works in the same way as a barn find, because there's an orange circle on the map and then you have to go and find it, like there will be a purple circle on the map for a barn find. So what do you actually have to do for this then? So I would say you need to hop in the car that's on the picture, the Abarth 595 SSE, and you need to get 1 star on a danger sign. I believe that is all you need to do. Obviously I'll go and check that myself now, but that is essentially what I infer from this. I'm not sure whether you'll be able to use any other abarth. I'm guessing that's where the Scorpion badge comes in. So you might be able to use one of the other abarths, like the 131 or the 695. I don't think there's any others. However, to play safe, I will probably just go with the 595 on the picture here. So I'll go and do it myself, and then I'll show you the exact location of the chest. So let's go and do it. Right, so following your minimum of 1-star jump in your abarth 595, you can return to the festival playlist to find a rather unhelpful clue. Now, I looked at this and I thought, all right, that looks like it's near a bit of water. No, it isn't. It's actually in one of the temple ruins, because when you go and see your orange circle, you'll see it is around the southern end of Ekbalam. So I thought it'd be around here with the water. I stumbled into this back temple here, and it is just right here. So I came to do a Yui, and I spotted it. So it's more or less smack bang in the middle of the circle. You can see the ramp there. Come straight in here, smash through the chest, and there is your treasure challenge completed. 100,000 credits and 3 points towards the festival playlist. Succeeding that treasure hunt, we now have a rather simple photo challenge to take a look at. And this week's photo challenge is hashtag Spirit of Horizon. And as alluded to earlier, it wants you to take a photo of the 2002 Lotus Esprit V8, which of course you unlock from the exclusive event Lotus Leaf, hence the importance of completing that seasonal championship. So, it's very simple. It doesn't specify any location or any other requirements, so all you need to do is hop in the Lotus Esprit once you've unlocked it, open up photo mode anywhere on the map, even in an event lab or an event lab island, or even on the expansions, and take a photo of it, and that is all you need to do. You could even include multiple if you wanted to really succeed the challenge there. And once you've taken a photo, you'll get yourself 2 points and the emote reward Fist Pump. Righto then, so to wrap up the third section, which is of course the challenges section, we have a Horizon Open challenge, Blast from the Past. So, very simple, all you need to do is go into your pause menu, into the online tab, and you'll see Horizon Open, and then once you do that, you need to complete any Horizon Open racing event in the 2014 Lamborghini Huracan LP6104. So there are, of course, I think around 5 Huracans in the game, so you need to make sure it's the 2014 one. I believe it's the only one that's in the auto show, unless the Huracan Performante is in the auto show as well. But it is the bog standard Lamborghini Huracan that was on the cover of Horizon 2. It is yellow stock. And you just need to complete any Horizon Racing event in that. You don't need to win any of the races, you just simply need to complete it. So you can enter a normal free-for-all racing, or you can do a custom racing, and obviously it starts in S1 class, so you may wish to do S1 class, or if you've got it tuned up to S2 class, you may wish to do S2 class. But obviously you need to make sure that you are using the Huracan. Complete however many races it gives you to do in the session, and then you'll get yourself 2 points and the song reward Keynote Nocturne. Progressing on then, we will now take a look at the penultimate section of the festival playlist, which is the monthly events, or more commonly known as Series 31's monthly rival events. So, as the name suggests, these last for the whole month. They can be completed in any of the seasons. Once you've completed them once, you don't need to complete them again for the rest of the month, unless of course you want to go back and improve your time, but that's not exactly the requirement of the challenge. So I'll cover them obviously in next week's video as well, and if you've watched my previous 2 videos you may have already seen me speak a bit about these, but all you need to do is post a clean lap to complete on all 4 of them, and you do need to of course make sure that you complete them separately, so completing one won't necessarily complete them all, but for a clean lap all you need to make sure is that you don't hit or don't do any of 3 things, and they are hitting walls or any other non-destructible objects, using rewind, and missing checkpoints or getting your car reset in some other way, because all of those will flag your lap, leaving an exclamation mark next to your time, and that means it won't count as it is a dirty lap. So all you need to do is avoid those 3 things, cruise around. You don't need to beat your rival, and hopefully then you'll be able to get it completed and post a clean lap on all of them. Like I said, you can go back and set a faster time if you wish to, but for the actual challenge in the festival playlist, all you need to do is post a clean lap. And what that will do is it will add the 4 points that you can see there on the one that I haven't completed. That will be added onto the series, and then it will be divided by 4 for the 4 seasons. So you'll notice that 1 point will be added onto each of the seasons total. And then once you've completed all 4 of them, that'll be 16 points added onto the series total, and then 4 points added onto the each season's total as well. Excuse me there. Each season's total, because that's 16 divided by 4. Latterly, for our festival playlist section by section work through, we round out with the expansion events, of course, covering the Rally Adventure events and the Hot Wheels events. They are the 2 expansions in Forza Horizon 5. So needless to say, you are required to own both of these expansions to be able to access their respective events. You must additionally reach a certain point in their career mode, so as soon as you start the expansions, you won't automatically be granted access to the festival playlist challenges. I think for the Hot Wheels expansion, you have to reach the S2 class car system and the challenges for that one to be able to unlock it. And similarly for the Rally expansion, Rally Adventure expansion, you will need to reach a certain point as well before you're able to access these challenges. But once you do, there is a seasonal PR stunt and a seasonal championship on each of the expansions. So we've got Canyon Danger Sign on the Rally Adventure and Forest Flume Speed Zone on Hot Wheels. They are your PR stunts. 2 points in the Super Wheel Spin for each of them. So we've got B-Class European Super Hot Hatch for the first one, so Audi RS3 is probably my best bet for that one, and then S2 Class European Extreme Track Toys. So we've got the Bugatti Divo as pictured in the thing there. That is a really good option for that one. Then for the seasonal championships, they work in the same way as they do on the main map as well as the PR stunts. So we've got Round the Bends, street racing on Rally Adventure, which will get you 5 points, and a Mercedes X-Class, and the restriction is A-Class European Sports Utility Heroes, so Aston Martin DBX for that one, or you've got the Jaguar F-Pace as well, and some Land Rovers. And then for the Hot Wheels, Cohen of the Phrase, 5 points and a Porsche Cayman as your reward on the speed events, and the restriction is S2 Class Koenigsegg. I haven't actually got a tune for that myself, however there is a tune on the Koenigsegg CCGT that I have got installed. However, pretty much any reasonable tune on the CCGT will be okay for the Hot Wheels expansion. Okay then, so the conclusion of our expansion events means also the conclusion of this festival playlist walkthrough, and obviously the end of the winter dry season festival playlist. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Your support truly means the world. It is a motivating factor in me making these videos. They do take hours of my time each week, but I do it to help you guys out. If I help a couple of people with a week's challenges with some tunes, tips and tricks, and then that is my job done, even though quite a lot of technological difficulties do demotivate me a bit throughout the way. However, the end result always means a good quality video at the end of it, and hopefully some positive feedback as well. So hopefully my tunes, tips and tricks and everything else from today's video will help you to blast through this week's events with ease. But of course, let me know if you need any further advice, and I'll be more than happy to dish that out to you in the comments on Xbox or Discord, as I've mentioned throughout the video. So do not hesitate to like and subscribe if you did enjoy. Turn your notifications on for alerts when I next upload or go live. And obviously if you want to see these videos every week, then that is the things you need to do. And I do also regularly post in the community post section with information regarding the videos if there's any delays, and also with sometimes polls and quizzes as well for you to get involved in. So thank you very much for watching again. I hope to see you next week. I'll hopefully be back with the guide for the spring season, where we've got the Mercedes-Benz 500e as our exclusive reward for 20 points. So I will hope to see you then. Thank you for watching once again, and goodbye.